By the way, by the way, thanks, Dragon. But I just want to know what Shaz did. What did he do? What did Shaz do? I just want to know what Shaz did quickly until I start speaking, like my stuff. Apparently, corner cutting is on regular. Oh yeah, it is on regular. Well, let's see. Is it gonna be? Is it gonna be on? No, I guess Shaz left. Okay. Could have just made everyone retire, but okay. I just want to know, was it a restart or not, like properly? I guess. Okay, we have another few minutes of waiting, I guess. See, lovely stuff by Shaz, I guess. Hmm. I guess since Shaz is too incompetent to do the settings correctly, then I guess I'll talk about the standings that I have no idea, I have no clue on about. Because first of all, I got in like last minute. Well, basically he told me 40 minutes ago about this, and I never did Prestige almost at all, ever. I'll talk about them now. So, in the driver standings with how many races to go? 3 races to go with 2 sprints as well. Basically, Brazil included, or yeah, so 3. Yeah, whatever. It is looking like Marco is leading the championship. 158 points for Marco. Lossi in P2, 132 steps. Third, 109 points. Tick fourth, 1 point behind steps, 108 points. DJ the Dragon is in fifth with 105 points. The gap from Marco to Lossi is 26 points, and from Lossi to steps, it seems to be, from quick maths, that would be 23 points. Seems like, yeah, it seems like it. Tom in 6th with 80 points, Shaz 7th with 74, Oli in 8th with 67, Jakey in 9th with 63, Olaf 48, Ozan 40, Niklas 34, Mankan 27, Alfie Hudson 23, TNMRS 18, Ibrahim 16, Walshy 12, Firefist 10, Martin 6, and Ludwig with 1 point. And last, in the constructors, it's very, very close. Basically, Mercedes lead the standings, the team standings, in first, of course, with 212 points. Red Bull 1 point behind them, 213 points. Ferrari still somewhat close behind that top 2 in 189 points. Haas as well close with 178 points. Alpine 5th, 141. VCarb 105, Williams 93, McLaren 91, Sauber 88, and Aston Martin in 74. The fuck, Shaz? That was a very interesting ad from Shaz. But yeah, those were the standings, and yeah, we have Brazil with sprint today. Of course, with Brazil, it's very easy to overtake around here, and times will be pretty close compared to any other track. And so yeah, should be a very interesting one to the finish line. But yeah, let's see how qualifying will go, the sprint and the race, of course. The title fight is on for both of the championships. And yeah. Bro, DJ the Dragon died. Guess, but yeah, we're now going into qualifying. Or at least I thought we were. Okay, there we go. Three people only in, I guess. Yeah. I guess I'm commentating a 3-man race between Sen, Tsunami, and Marco. It seems like it. Well. First session, I guess the first session, Shaz was too incompetent to do the lobby normally, and now the reindeers from Canada decided to not work either. So yeah, EA at it again, or Codemasters. Restart game and join. I don't even need to restart the game. I don't think so. I mean, if I restart the game, then the whole flipping stream goes off. Although, to be fair, I didn't even... I didn't even need to flipping... I didn't even need to do anything. So yeah. Didn't even need to restart the game. But finally we're back. Wait, I wanna... There we go. Yeah. That's what my phone is charging. But yeah, we're finally back into the actual session. Instead of the 1/5 of the session just splitting apart. We are in SQ1 since, well, or in SQ, short qualifying, no, it should be SSQ, short sprint qualifying. There are a few people on the mediums. Yeah, it is short sprint qualifying. There are, well, not few, there are a lot of people on the mediums trying to save a set of softs for the other qualifying. And for the sprint race, we have Ibrahim, the first one to be out on track on a flyer, it seems. Niklas and Jameiro are behind them. Let's go with Ibrahim on his lap though. 17.2 to the first sector, not really great. That first sector still has plenty of fuel as well in the tank. Second sector is going to be a 51.931 by Ibrahim. Jameiro's nine sector. Second sector is going to be 51.161. So Jameiro is going a lot faster. Niklas almost binned it through turn 10. Ibrahim goes fast as 108.658, but Jameiro is going to probably beat that with a good margin. 3/10 margin between Jameiro and Ibrahim, as Tom has picked up a 5-base grid penalty. Collision with Pimeralda. Does Pimeralda as well have a penalty? No, only Tom has a penalty. Interesting, that one. Niklas with his mistake goes third, 109.556. Tom goes provisional pole position with his 5-place group penalty, 108.247. Of course, at the moment he would drop down to P6, but there's still literally the other 4/5 grid to do the lap times, as Joseph Files goes first, 4 tenths faster than Tom, 107 109.837 by the Ferrari. Ferrari are of course trying to gain back their points to Mercedes and McLaren. Red Bull. McLaren are in 8th, so it's a complete opposite from the real world. As it seems like Womack has set his time P8 112.248, so hopefully he did a mistake somewhere on his lap. We have then the two kick-subbers. One of them is Tsunami, the other one is DJ the Dragon, who is just finishing his time, and he's gonna go P6 109.079. Tsunami goes second 107.944, so about a tenth behind Joseph Elias, but a tenth around here. It depends as well on a level of competition. If it's very high level of competition, then a tenth can be like few positions. It always depends. I'm not saying that this is not competitive, because I literally cannot say anything. This is my first time commentating Prestige. I've commentated a lot of Division 1, but this is my first time commentating Prestige. Overall, or the very first time in a long time. Womack improves his time to go P7 108.970. Anyone else on a lap? It seems like Shaz has started his lap, and Roggy is on his lap. Second sector 51.219 through the second sector. With that, it should be behind Ibrahim. It should be, based on that second sector. But it depends, of course, on his ERS coming to the finish line. And he goes P3 108.120. And he goes 2 tenths. Over 2 tenths faster than Jameiro, so maybe he did a better third sector, or Jameiro had maybe had a mistake. I mean, maybe it's just all maybes. Shaz on his lap to the second sector 51.133. So Shaz is going faster than Roggy through the second sector, but that second sector, of course, Roggy had a slower second sector than Jameiro, if I remember right, but Roggy still is faster. But Shaz does go faster than Roggy, right behind Tsunami as well. 107.978. Hello, Steps, welcome in. And McCloskey as well on his lap. Guess I have to go through the whole flipping grid. Lassie. Mid Lassie on his lap, second sector 50.908, so a lot better second sector than Shaz, and that could put him on provisional pole position. Of course, he's fighting the championship with Marco, and hello, Jameiro as well. McCloskey should go provisional pole position. Yes, he does. Provisional pole position by a landslide. 4 tenths faster. Well, just under 4 tenths behind. Ahead of Joseph Elias. 107.462. Almost everyone did their times on the mediums besides Niklas, but Niklas had a mistake on his lap. There's still Rob on his lap, and as well Pimeralda. Rob through turn number 9. Hopefully we won't see any Albon Lewis through in 2019 there. Second sector for Rob, 51.217, so that's a very good second sector for him. Pimeralda, first sector 16.983, second sector 51.186, so he's going a bit faster than Rob, but not that much. Rob is going P3 107.898 between Tsunami and Joseph Elias. Pimeralda goes into the pits, interestingly, goes back into the pits, doesn't even want to finish his lap, and at the moment no one is on a lap, and the only one who is out there overall on track before the Alpine was Rob. But now we have, is that Niklas out on track? No, that's his brother Tom. on track. Then we have Aston Martin of Sen. We have Sen out on track, who already has front wing damage. And some pretty severe front wing damage. My guy has not even left the pits and already has front wing damage. Well, that's very interesting. They say as interesting as McCluskey leaving the session. Sanders just doing some community work by lawn mowing the grass. Tom. Oh. Well, there goes as well Nathan into the wall, and disqualification as well from qualifying for Nathan, blocking his teammate Marco a bit. In the meantime, Tom has started his lap. Hopefully he won't get blocked by the Sauber in front. Tom, is he improving? Yes, he is, by 2/10 through the first sector already. That 2/10 is going to improve him to P6, but those 2/10 are going to be crucial to catch up to Shaz and Tsunami, so that then he can be closer to the others. McCluskey is back in, although he won't be able to do another lap. But his lap on the mediums is good one, so he still should be somewhere. He's not going to be probably in pole position, but he should be up there. Tom is getting blocked here by the Sauber a bit there through the second sector. Just now that Sauber lets him through. Tom 4/10 faster, but of course almost everyone did their times on the mediums, so the times are going to be crucial. But was that Tsunami? Yes, that was Tsunami who blocked Tom. Tom, is he going to go provisional pole position? No, he won't. He's still 3.5 tenths behind that. 0.7810 by Tom, and he goes provisional P2, but there's still plenty and plenty of drivers who are still on their laps. Jorge Files starts his lap. There's just way too many people to try and follow. Let's just go with Shaz. What's his second sector looking like? It's 2.5 tenths up on his time. Let's look at Tom's brother Niklas. Where's he gonna go? Is he gonna go close to Niklas? Tom, no, he won't. That's that's even 6.5 tenths behind his brother Tom. 0.8466 by Niklas. Shaz goes P2, 0.7552, but Pimarada goes provisional pole position, 0.7176, almost 3 tenths faster than McCluskey. Steps goes 11th, 108.388. Dragon goes 8th, 108.105. Then we have plenty of other drivers. Martin in P10, Jamera in P11, Wildcat in P15, Tsunami goes 3rd, 107.539. Does Josephiles have anything in his tank through the 3rd sector? Marco goes 5th. Josephiles, where is he going to go? He's going to go only 6th, 107.689. Anyone else on their flyings? Maybe Kevin. Kevin goes up to P13. And it seems like the qualifying is done. Pimarada on pole position, unless, I don't know, Tom. No. Rob maybe tries to still improve on his lap. He's doing good. And he goes 3rd, 107.496. Very good lap by Rob as well, getting that slipstream from Shaz. Yes, that was Shaz as well, doing some good work for the Red Bulls. But Pimarada is on pole position for the sprints. McCluskey's time on the mediums was good enough to be still in P2, and the only one who really got in front of him was Pimarada. He's still in front of his championship rival Marco, who did his best time on the softs. McCluskey on the mediums. Rocky and Jamera as well, their best times were on the mediums. The same with Wumax. But the most impressive of them in here is McCluskey's time, who's, like I said, was beaten by Pimarada going almost 3/10 faster than McCluskey. But yeah, still, even though Lassie didn't make a final lap on the softs, still was P2. And the rest of the grid looks like this. Rob, Tsunami, Shaz, Marco, Josephiles, Tom has 5 place grid penalty. Let's see if that's going to be for the sprint race. I think that's going to be for the sprint race. Ibrahim 9th and Dragon rounds of the top 10. And then it's Rocky, Martin, Kevin, Jamero, Steps, Niklas, Wildcats, Humax, Sen, and Nathan, who got disqualified for blocking the pit lane. And that was the sprint qualifying, and then we go into the sprint race itself. And then after that, it's going to be race quali, and then it's going to be the actual race, the 36 lap race. It's going to be a long time. This stream is probably going to go to like 2 hours. Yeah. It's going to be close with 2 hours. Because the race is going to take 45. The whole 50% right. It's going to be close with. Yeah, it is going to be close. It is going to be close. Because already a 50% race and quality goes like a little bit over an hour. 18:45 then, and then all the loading and stuff, it takes a bit of time. So yeah. Formation lap, I think, should be on, And yeah, formation lap is on. Why am I saying that? Is basically, this is the only league for me that does formation laps. Any other league that I race in or commentate in doesn't have it. But yeah, almost everyone is on the softs besides Rob, Kevin, and Wumax. Those 3 drivers are on the mediums. The rest, like I said, are on the softs. Of course, them softs are going to be very, very quick on the first opening laps. Let's say 5 laps. Still, they're going to have into that lap 5. They're still going to have that advantage over the mediums. But as the race will go on, those mediums are gonna get better and better as the race goes on. But for the medium runners, could be a bit too late by that point. It will just depend on their pace, how they will manage those mediums, and they're probably gonna get overtaken by their softs, the rivals that are on the softs. It will just depend on them as well. How much will they lose those positions? The most critical for them is not to lose too many positions on the first opening laps from the soft runners. And yeah, that is going to be very critical for them. Very, very critical. And then just wait for that time when those mediums are going to get better compared to the softs. And because them softs are gonna, they're still gonna be raceable on lap 12, but they're gonna run pretty quickly. Softs last like a few laps. They have that optimal pace, and then after that they just drop like crazy. Alright, the whole grid is on their positions, on their race positions, and now we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and it's going to be lights out, and away we go here in the sprint race of Brazil. McCluskey gets a very good start, Pimerado a little bit of rear spinning, and McCluskey takes the lead of the sprint race already on lap 1, turn 1. Pimerado didn't get a good start at all from the, well, reaction probably was good, but then the tires kept bogging down on him. And drops down to P2. Tsunami gets a position on Rob, who's dropped down a position behind their yellows. Jamero dropping down. Wildcat as well spun into turn 4, and another driver spun. There's as well some stuff flying on track, and that's Kevin who got spun. The same with Niklas. Kevin fronting damage for him, so maybe that was the debris flying. In the meantime, Tsunami is fighting Pimarada for P2 through the second sector, and Tsunami takes P2 going into turn number 10. Yeah, 10. No, that's 12. Sorry, 12. Anyways, Tsunami is in P2, but now it's critical for Tsunami to keep within the DRS of McCluskey. Pimarada goes for the move on Tsunami into turn 1. Will he have the DRS though? It's gonna be the question. He's not gonna have the DRS though, I don't think. He's not gonna have the DRS. No, he won't have the DRS. For Tsunami, it's critical to overtake Pimarada quickly. Yellows in sector 1, and that's Jameiro Spawn in turn 1, and pretty good hiding spot, not gonna lie there. But yeah, down to P20. He's crawling back to the track, but McCluskey has broken down the DRS on P2, which is Tsunami at the moment. But Tsunami is a bit gaining. It's on the edge of getting that DRS. Rob is still doing well in P4. Womax has gained lots of positions from his P18 position on those mediums, but of course he got a bit those positions just from the fact that people were spinning, but as well, that's part of racing. Tsunami doesn't have the DRS. He's blinking though, and Pimarada knows that, but still doesn't want to go for the overtake. Shaz is going for the overtake on Rob, and as well is trying to go for it on Pimarada, but Pimarada, nicely defensive move. I mean, the move was late as well a bit by Shaz, so it was a bit... Shaz probably can think that Pimarada did not leave any space for him, but as well, that was a very late launch and down inside on Pimarada that maybe Shaz did not want. Right behind Shaz though, Marco has gone up to P5. Meanwhile, behind Josefiles, dropping down a lot of places. Yellow sector 2, and that's sent out of the Grand Prix. But it seems like that he just got disconnected, and that's why he has retired. Josefiles fighting for that P12, and he does re-overtake steps through the second sector. He will have to jump through the field through this massive DRS train that goes from P2 down to P15. Tsunami still doesn't have the DRS. McCluskey tries to maintain that DRS, or basically tries to maintain so that the drivers behind won't have the DRS, aka the P2, which is still Tsunami. Pimarada still doesn't want to go for the overtake, which is a bit surprising. Still doesn't want to go for it, even though it would be very good to go for it. Wildcat gets a 3-second time penalty, but that's probably just the game saying that you cut too much and you get 3 seconds, even though you should have gotten a warning, which already happened to me once on this track, quite literally like 2 days ago on Friday. And yeah, Tsunami still can't catch up to Lossi's 1 second. The gap has risen to 2 seconds, as a matter of fact. Pimarada as well is not helping at all this train of cars so that they would get that DRS on Lossi, because Pimarada doesn't want to overtake Tsunami. But now Pimarada is going to go for the overtake on Tsunami, and Pimarada retakes P2 from Tsunami. The gap will go down a little bit, but of course it's on Pimarada now to catch up to McCluskey. The gap is going down a bit. McCluskey needs to save his ERS though. He needs to save it. He's down on 20%. Pimarada has got a lot more than him. He's got 60%. Tsunami as well needs to recharge his ERS. Shaz has a very good position. He's also ERS. Tsunami lags down a bit, causing Shaz, well, Shaz almost lost it on his own, but as well didn't help anything that Tsunami lagged a bit, and basically that lag almost made him to go in, made Shaz to go into Tsunami. Thankfully there was no contact there or anything big. It was just Shaz losing it. It seems like that he lost it on his own. while that happened, Tsunami is getting attacked by Shaz, and Shaz has a lot more ERS, and as well Shaz is trying to go for the overtake on Pimrada on the main straight, and Pimrada doesn't want to give up that P2 so easily. They're going side by side into turn 2, and Shaz is in front, although Tsunami got a better exit, and Tsunami is in front. Shaz doesn't have the DRS, so he'll lose plenty of position. Tsunami no ERS though, and at the moment he's still P2. Pimrada is still on the inside, and Tsunami is in front. Pimrada bit touching. Tsunami, and Rob is trying to make his way up to P3. The driver who is on the mediums is trying to make his way through now on lap 6. On those mediums, those softs are still decent on this lap. McCluskey can breathe a bit more since all of this battling increases the gap from himself to or from P2 to himself up to 3 seconds now. It was 2 seconds like 2 laps ago. Now it's 3 seconds, all just because Shaz tried to go for the overtake on Pimrada. Pimrada was not backing down, and as well that caused Shaz to lose from P2 down to P7, and now even Tom could go for the overtake, but he's not going for it. He doesn't want to go for it yet. Rob got overtaken by Tsunami, or it seems like at least. But Tsunami is still behind Rob, and Rob in P3 still. Rob, is he going to try and go for the overtake on Pimrada? Yes, he does, into turn number 4 on the inside. And Rob is up to P2 on turn number 4. Maybe this is the lap that those mediums are really waking up from this lap onwards. It could be the moment, but it could be as well that Rob just got got lucky with all of the stuff that was happening around him. Tom is battling Shaz. Shaz really needs to recover from all that battling with Pimrada. Tom trying to go around the outside of turn 10 and now into downhill turn 11 on the inside Tom, and he has made the position. They as well need to think about the DRS because Tom has barely got the DRS, 9 cents. The slipstream effect is not going to be that good. Almost 0, and they really need to think about as well to keep up with the drivers in front within that DRS. Meanwhile in front, Pimrada and Rob are yet again. Pimrada back into P2. Is Rob gonna try and go for it though? Into turn 4 on the inside. Yes, he does. Yet again into turn 4 on the inside. Rob retakes P2. This is lovely stuff, but none of this stuff gains them time on McCluskey. The gap is still 3 seconds, so McCluskey just needs to keep this pace up, save a bit of ERS, just go on medium ERS mode for a few laps, and just maintain this pace and don't get any warnings, and you'll be fine. That's literally that he needs to do. In the meantime, Shaz has lost even more positions from P7 down to P11. Shaz is from that point onwards that Pimrada fought him through turn 1 and turn 2, 3 and lost plenty of positions. Shaz is not the same. It seems like he just can't catch a break. In the meantime, Martin has spun on the exit of turn 12. Shaz tries to go around the outside of DJ the Dragon, but he just can't. Dragon on the inside has defended himself beautifully. Martin, it seems like he's gonna retire in the pits. Pimrada though, in the meantime, has overtaken Rob into turn 4. He did not overtake him into turn 1. He overtook him into turn 4, and now he can be in P2 for a little bit longer. The gap as well to McCluskey has gone down a little bit to 2.8 seconds, 2.7. Rob wants to go a bit faster, of course, because now those mediums are better, but also McCluskey is maybe a bit just going a bit slower, it seems like, but nonetheless the gap is going down to 2.4 seconds. McCluskey could think about the DRS from Jameiro. Jameiro is on AI mode. If McCluskey would get lucky into in turn 1, 2, then maybe could get the DRS that will get him just at 2/10 maybe on a lap, so that actually the cars behind won't catch up to him that easily, and he does get the DRS on the detection point, it seems. And yeah, he does get the DRS. So the car behind won't catch up that easily. This is of course beautiful news for McCloskey. Pimrod and Rob are still swapping places. They really want to catch up to McCloskey. But I think at this point they will just need to abandon that P1 and fight for P2. Probably on lap 11 and lap 12. Rocky is trying his best to go in front of Rob. Those mediums should be faster by now. Maybe just that 2/10 maybe on a lap. 10th a lap. They should be still faster by this point. More or less. Rob is right behind Pimerada. Pimerada has... well, they all have the same amount of ERS, really. Pimerada is trying to defend from Rob by using his ERS. But it's... I mean, he's trying to defend already. So that he would be in front of Rob the whole time, maybe. Or just using his ERS just to not get overtaken into turn 1. But now... gets overtaken by Rob into turn number 4. Niklas, 3 seconds time penalty, which would put him down behind Womax. Meanwhile, behind Marco. Marco spun! Marco spun! McCloskey's championship rival drops points in here in the sprint race. McCloskey will get 8 points at the moment. Marco will probably get 0 points in the sprint. There's still 1 lap to go, but probably that 1 lap is going to go very quickly. Marco will not score any points. The gap between Rob and Lassie is going down like crazy. 1.4 seconds between Rob and McCloskey. But I think it's just that 1 lap too late for Rob. Meanwhile, behind Joseph Viles spun himself round as well. Drops down to P13, almost joining Marco. Down then P13, 14. Behind, sorry, in front, Pimerada gets overtaken by Rocky. Almost looked like he just let him through. Rocky has absolutely no ERS. Pimerada the same. Rob as well has no ERS. McCloskey just has about more ERS than Rob, Rocky and Pimerada. So he has that slight well, he's slightly in front in the ERS thing. What I'm trying to say, basically, basically lack of words, basically, in my vocabulary. But yeah, McCloskey doesn't give the DRS to Rob, and with that, Rob is trying to catch up, but he won't. Lassie is gonna cross the line with just enough of fuel. McCloskey wins the sprint race, 8 points more than Marco in here, and he catches up to Marco with a good point haul on Marco. Rob P2, Rocky P3, Pimerada P4, Tsunami P5, Shaz P6, Dragon P7, Tom rounds off the points paying positions, Steps P9, Womax rounds off the top 10, Ibrahim P11, Niklas P12, Joseph Viles 13, Marco P14, and then the rest I failed to see. That's it. Drive today. Seems like Rocky. To be fair, then he start like back down. Down the order. Yeah, in 10th. So yeah, you could give it to Rocky. There's as well Womax from 18 to 10th, Steps 9th to 15, Tom from 13 to 8th. There's of course Lassie who led the race from lap 1 turn 1. But probably would give it to Rocky. But yeah, after Marco, it is Wildcat, Kevin, Nathan, Jamero, Martin, and Sen rounds of the whole grid. And now, after that good-looking sprint, we're gonna go to the qualifying. 18 minutes of qualifying. By the way, what's the duration? 47 minutes. Oh, it's gonna be close with the 2 hour mark. No, not that I'm worried about the 2 hour mark or anything that I have a limit. It's just that I'm interesting about it. Now the 18-minute clock has started. Last. Huh? Right. I want to see the sector times. Ah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's a new one for me. I love how Shaz doesn't have enough any laps on his. Well, that's a new glitch that I haven't seen yet. That I'll say that. Oh yeah, now it's. I'm gonna see these tires. Oh my god, who is it even out? Pimeralda, and it says. Wait, it doesn't even update that. I mean, to be fair, he is on the mediums. At least for me, I don't know. At least for me, he is on the mediums. Yeah, it seems like that he's on the mediums. Josephinas, Marca, and Shaz are on the mediums. That's a new one for me, not gonna lie, this glitch. I love how that it's taking the fastest laps in here, not the positions. Whatever. Pimeralda is gonna be the first one to start their flying lap on the mediums. 12 lap all mediums, let's just say that. Is it gonna update that? Oh no, okay. They go back to their original thing. It's just a little glitch like that. Okay, Pimeralda through the first sector on his flying lap, of course. First sector, what's it gonna be for Pimeralda? It's gonna be a 69.17. I love how I love the delta to his fastest lap as well in the sprint race. That's a lovely one. But yeah, Pimeralda 16.917 through the first sector, so that's a decent one on the mediums. And now through turn 9, 8, 9, and then into turn number 10. Little bit rear, just that's a little bit rear sliding around. Now into turn 11, and then into turn 12. 51.281 through the second sector, so that's as well a very good second sector. And now Pimeralda is gonna go fastest, of course, with a time of 1 minute 07.781, fastest lap by 1.2 seconds over Lassie, who did his lap on 12 lap old media softs, interestingly. Anyways, Tsunami, next one, no, sorry, Shaz was the next one. Shaz goes P2 078 to 92, so a tenth behind Pimeralda. Tsunami, where does he go? He goes fastest on his mediums, 07601. Like I said, on the softs, so he's expected to be in front of Pimeralda. He's in front of Pimeralda by almost 2/10. And yeah, he's in P2 as of right now. Sorry, P1 steps 17.167 to the first sector. Joseph Files has invalidated his lap. What would it have been? 08.037. He didn't invalidate it. Huh? What? I guess he didn't invalidate it then. Yeah, here's P4 with 07037. Okay. Steps on his flying lap. Where is he gonna go? He's gonna go P508180. Tsunami probably going back into the pits. Yeah, going back into the pits. Martin on his lap through the second sector. What's his second sector gonna be? At 51.615 through the second sector. So at the moment that would be probably that would be the slowest time at the moment. Those who actually have set a time and not including the glitch. At the moment, Martin is gonna go P6, yes, by roughly 4 tenths behind Steps. 08512. Niklas goes P4 0807.961. Aston Martin Ibrahim is gonna go no time, I guess. There we go. P8 08500, just 12 thousandths in front of Martin. This game just surprises me, doesn't it? And everyone really, with all the new bugs. Even though this bug isn't really a groundbreaking bug, I don't think. McCluskey is improving on his time, of course, and 16.908 or 06. Some of these just bugs, for example this one, aren't groundbreaking and game breaking. It's just that they're goddamn annoying, that you don't see just straight up like lines. For example, for Jameer, Sen, Kevin and Nathan, it's just goddamn it, their fastest laps from the sprint, which is for me a bit annoying. McCluskey second sector 51.083, so I don't think he's going fastest on his lap. He's probably gonna go fastest. By the way, Tom P3 07833 on the softs. McCluskey probably is gonna go fastest on the mediums. 07, no, he's not gonna go fastest, but he's right behind Tsunami within a tenth. 07682 for McCluskey, a tenth in front of Pimeralda, who did as well his time on the mediums. Anyone else? Ruggy has started his lap. Just started his lap. Wildcat is on his lap, I believe. Wumax as well. No, Wumax is not on his lap. Wildcat is on his lap. Second sector, it's gonna be a 51.896 for Wildcat. And now the third sector, what's it gonna be when he's gonna cross the line? Hopefully it's not gonna be 09 into 09s, but it's just outside of the 09s. 08971 for Wildcat. Rob is about to start his lap. Ruggy through the second sector, what's it gonna be? A 51.266 for Ruggy. So I don't think he would be somewhere like close to Shaz's time. Maybe Niklas. Somewhere around there, maybe Josephiles, maybe somewhere around there. Ruggy is gonna go P6 07928. So my prediction was right. For Josephiles, that my prediction was a bit of a reach, but still P6, close within Shaz, Tom, Pimeralda, Niklas. Of course, Pimeralda and Shaz did their times on the mediums, but as well could want to be out there on there. Dragon, where is he gonna go on his time? P9 08152, but he's on the medium, so he can still improve on his time on the softs by a good margin. Steps retires from the qualifying with only an 08180. Interesting one. Is that as well in mediums? No, that's only on the softs. Maybe he's already sure that he can't improve on his lap. Could be. Martin yet again doing his time. This time on the softs. This time on the softs. In the meantime, Marco has set his time on the mediums 5th. 07863. This is what I meant with a 10th being a crucial thing in qualifying. Martin fastest through the first sector, it seems like, out of them all. Maybe Tsunami has a faster first sector. Yeah, he has a faster first sector. At least those ones that I've seen. Josephiles is starting his lap. Womack is about to finish his lap. Ibrahim is about to start his lap. Womack, no, he's about to go into the pits, more like, and almost crash out. Rob, it seems like he would be on a flying lap. Yes, he is. A bit of a weird one to put his ERS on, and Rob goes P707.901 behind Edwin Martin. Where's he gonna go on the softs? He's gonna go right in front of steps 08164 on the softs. It's a pretty decent lap, but at the moment it's still a bit far from the others that made their times on the softs, on the mediums. Shaz is starting his lap. No, he hasn't. He has abandoned it. Literally as he started it, through the first two corners, he was like, nope. In the meantime, Rocky has gone P3.07718. Josephiles goes now provisional pole position 07554 from the Ferrari. A pretty good sight for Josephiles to see himself up there in pole position. But of course, there's still a lot more drivers to do their actual times. Maybe the Jameiro, Sen, Kevin and Nathan, maybe not. But for example, those who did their times on the mediums, aka Lassi, Pimerada, Marco, Shas, Rob. Dragon will be a bit of a reach, but still. They maybe can go faster than him when they are gonna do their times on the softs. Shaz, no, yeah, he has forgot already that he abandoned his lap. Ibrahim, in the meantime, on his lap. Wildcat out on track on his out lap. But Shaz is doing his lap again. It seems like that now he's finally pushing. First sector, is he improving? No, he isn't. 23,000 down on his time to the first sector, but first sector is only like 3 corners. So if you're losing by 23,000, it's not gonna be a big one. Ibrahim goes 11th in front of Dragon, 08.032 for the Aston Martin. Shaz, yeah, back to that first sector. If you're losing through the first sector by literally 23,000, it's not gonna be a massive deal. Shaz, 58,000 up on his time only. His first time was on the mediums, and at the moment this lap isn't looking good compared to the mediums. Shaz, where's he gonna go? He's gonna go 5th, only improving by 1.5 tenths compared to his mediums, which you would probably expect a bigger of a improvement from mediums to softs, which I'm interested about what happened on Shaz's lap time. Is that just, did he just go a slow lap, just not working, or is that it? I don't know. Wildcat is improving on his time by 2.5 tenths, but at the moment it's not gonna be, he's not improving a position even. Pimerada is starting his lap right in front of him. Let's go with Wildcat, what his time is going to be. Is he going to improve at position? No, he isn't, but he improves on his time by almost 2.5 tenths. Womack improving to the first sector by 1.5 tenths. Let's go to Pimerada. Is he improving to the first sector? Yes, he is, but by 3 thousandths, almost nothing. But still improving, just about. Still better than what Shaz did on his soft lap. Let's go back to Womack. He's improving by 2 tenths through the second sector. Can he go faster than Steps? That third sector, I mean, he would need to really gain time. No, he's not going to improve. He's going back into the pits. Rob is starting his lap. Marco is doing his flying lap. Pimerada, it doesn't seem like that he's going to do anything. Marco only goes 6th, 07771, and Pimerada was up on his time, but it seems like that he messed up that turn 12, and he goes back into the pits, so he doesn't set his time that he was doing. He needs to quickly. Well, technically he still has plenty of time, but he needs to change his tires to the fresh ones, and then, well, of course, try and set a new time on the brand new softs. Dragon has started his lap, it seems that yes, he has. Rob, invalidated. Marco, no, he's not doing a lap anymore. Can he even? There is a possibility for Marco. Yeah, he will be able to easily go back into the pits. He'll be easily able to just go back into the pits, change to the new softs, and then do another lap on them softs. Rob is probably doing another lap in a row. Let's look at his first sector quickly before we go to Wildcat. Rob to the first sector is up by 600. Wildcat is up on his time just a tiny bit, and he doesn't improve on his time by a tiny bit, and he has no fuel remaining in his car, so he'll be just limping down to the pits. Dragon goes 9th, 07838 by the Sauber. Rob is still improving. Shaz has started his lap. Let's look to Niklas is about to start his lap. Rob, I missed his second sector. Was he improving or not? But he's still pushing on his time, on his lap. So he's still trying to improve on his time. What's his improvement gonna be? And he goes P307624 by the Red Bull. Very good time from Rob. Lassie has started his lap. Ibrahim is gonna start his lap. Then it's gonna be Pimerada who's gonna start his lap. Then it's gonna be Wildcat limping down to his pits. Tsunami is about to then start a lap. There's just Pimerada mistake through turn 1. Oh, that's gonna, and he has invalidated as well. Pimerada's qualifying is done right in here, and the best that he can hope for is P8 at the moment. There's plenty of cars in front to go faster on their flying laps, and Shaz is the one to go fastest. 07367 by the V-Carb. Ruggy, where is he? He's up on his time by 2/10. In front of him, there's one of the Alpines. That's Niklas, who is invalidated. So Ruggy, maybe P2 at the moment. It's a possibility if he didn't lose too much time through the third sector. Ruggy, where is he going to go? He's going to go P2 right in front of Joseph Files by 5,000. But McCluskey goes fastest, takes back his provisional pole position 07287 by the Williams. There's still not Joseph Files. Ibrahim 12th. Is there anyone else? Dragon maybe on a lap. Maybe, I do not know. Niklas as well, maybe. Tom just about improving on his time, just about. Is Wildcat in front? Yeah, but he's not. He's still with no fuel. Tom, can he even improve on his time at all? Crossing the line? No, he can't. Dragon is gonna stay 10th as well. Niklas, what's his second sector gonna be? His improving by 1.5 tenths. And as he's gonna cross the line soon, 1.5 tenths, that would be right in the area where his brother Tom is. And is he gonna go in there? He's going 1.5 tenths in front of Tom. P707680 by Tom. And is there anyone else rugging back into the pits? Lassie, no one is on a lap. No one is on a lap. So McCluskey has taken pole position here in the Brazilian qualifying, and to the main race as well. Pole position P1 on the grid. This time he won't have to get a good start to get that P1. He will just have to will just get a good start now. He doesn't need to get a great start and pray so that the P1 gets a horrible start like Pimrada did. McCluskey can now just sort of get a good normal start and then trying to do the same what he did in the sprint. Of course, try is one thing. Pimrada down in ninth, his rival at the moment, it seems like, and his countryman as well, the Spanish Civil War, a little bit, but his championship rival, Marco, down in P8, which is very good for McCluskey. The gap was 32 points, if I remember right. So, at the moment, McCluskey looks to be getting a big points overhaul on Marco. Let me just double check that one. Just quickly, so that I'm not wrong. No, 26, sorry, 26. What am I talking about? 26 points between Marco and Lassi. And with 26 being before the sprint, now it's 18 points. So at the moment, if the grid would finish like this, with Marco in P8 and McCluskey taking the win, would mean that Lassi would take the championship lead going into the next race, which I believe was Las Vegas, if I remember right. So, yeah, go into the formation lap and immediately onto the tires. So, ooh, bit of variety in here, it seems. So the 4 in the back, that are AIs. Yeah, there is the question that the top 4 in the rear are the AIs. Basically, besides those top 4, basically, besides the bottom 4, we have 3 soft runners, 2 hard runners, and the rest are on the mediums. Ruggy and Tsunami are trying to do the opposite strategy of hard medium, and Shaz and Rob are trying a bit of a different approach in here. Rob, who started the sprint on the mediums, he knows well that the pace on the softs dropped in the first laps quite quickly, like the 12 lap race. At the moment he struggled a bit, but in the beginning the soft pace was the better one, but then as the race went on, of course, the pace difference to the mediums got worse and worse, and so he will know that the pace on those softs in the first laps is crucial. The same as Shaz, he knows that the pace is going to be crucial. Shaz, again, the SQ on the formation lap going into the grid. One of the Aston Martins is a bit offset. That's Ibrahim, who already tries to cut off Martin, it seems. But we're gonna go 5 red lights soon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and speed lights out now. And away go here in the Brazilian Grand Prix. Lassi gets a very good start, at least the one to keep himself in front of Shaz behind. Rocky already losing a position, going wide into turn 1, but he keeps position on Rob. It doesn't seem like it. He's side by side with Rob. Rob already gaining a position on Tsunami, but Ruggy as well keeping his position in front of Rob. the position that he lost, of course, to Joseph Files, who goes wide into turn number 4. A little bit. Lossi still keeping his lead on lap 1. Very good news for him. Rob is trying to go around the outside of Rogge through turn 8, 9 now. And is he going to be in front? Yes, he is going to be in front. Very good move by Rob around the outside. Crucial so that he's not going to lose the DRS on Joseph Files and the top 4 in general. Meanwhile, behind, Pimerada has gone up to P7. Marco drops down to P10. Crucial for the championship. Marco cannot finish in these positions and cannot be having this type of pace in here. This is just unacceptable for his championship at the moment. This is of course fully acceptable for Lossi, because this just means that he's gonna take the championship lead going into Las Vegas. And DRS has been enabled. The DRS train from the whole grid is just about within it. Rob just about within that 1 second on Joseph Files. Literally just about. In the meantime, as we saw, Pimerada has overtaken Tsunami into turn 4. As well, crucial so that he's not going to be stuck behind the cars behind. The two brothers, Niklas and Tom, are in P8 and P9, so they're doing very well. And of course, their communication should be a top-notch one, since probably the chemistry is like flipping 100 between them, unless they've got the brother versus brother type shit. So, you know, then that's going to be a bit of a interesting one between them. Rogge doesn't have the DRS on Rob, so Pimerada overtakes Rogge easily into turn 1, even before turn 1, long before turn 1. Tsunami, Niklas goes off track in turn 1. Maybe he was trying to go for the move on Tsunami, but he goes off track and drops down to P15 from P9 or P8, drops down to P15. In the meantime, Tom lost the position to Marco as well, so Marco taking the advantage from the two Alpines. A very good advantage for him. Still needs to be higher up on the grid if he wants to think about this championship still, compared to Lossi, who is doing an amazing job. He's doing top notch today. He's doing everything that he needs to do. He has won the sprint race, and at the moment he's leading the main race, so he's doing everything that he needs to do. Marco is not doing everything that he needs to do. He's doing basically the opposite of what he needs to do. He needs to get more positions. He needs to be higher up if he wants to think about the championship, to even lead the championship going into Las Vegas, which at the moment he won't be, since the 26 gap has gotten smaller to 18, and now it's 18, 26 at the moment compared to 4. It's gonna be 22. So yeah, McCloskey add-ons would lead the championship by 4 points going into Las Vegas. Pimerada still cannot catch up to Rob. Rob is doing a good job so that the cars behind won't get the DRS. Of course, Joseph Files probably would want Pimerada to be up there with him, but he just can't do anything at the moment. If he would have been leading, then maybe just a tiny bit of the brake, of the throttle, and maybe have a little bit of that ERS on none, slow down the pack a little bit. Tom gets it straight 3 seconds, so maybe that will be as well, that might be as well getting removed. But Marco has overtaken Tsunami. He's up to P7, so he's doing everything that he can, but like I said, he needs to do a lot more. At the moment, the gap from Lossi to Marco in the championship would be 2 points in favor of McCluskey. One more position for Marco, and the position is going to change a little bit in the championship. It's going to be equal for them going into the second to last race. Of course, the fastest lap is still in McCluskey's hands. In the meantime, Joseph Iles overtakes Shaz, who doesn't have the DRS on McCluskey, but Joseph Iles did overtake Shaz very early on, so he has caught up to McCluskey very easily for his 1 second within his DRS. Rocky has overtaken Pimerada now into turn 1. Pimerada not driving to his best, it seems. His pace is a bit not that good, what I would expect compared to the sprint. He did not catch up to Rob that easily. Or, I mean, he wasn't really catching to Rob. Of course, it's a bit hard to catch up on this track, especially that you have very long DRS and then a semi-long DRS that add up few tenths to, well, shorten your lap by few tenths. Ruggie is closer to Rob than Pimerada was, but it will seem that just Ruggie will not get that DRS. Rob will need to overtake Shaz. He knows that he's blinking. He has the DRS, but he is blinking. He has no ERS. So Rob is going for the move for P3. Joseph Iles right behind McCluskey, who doesn't have... No, he has ERS. He's just saving his ERS a bit. Rocky, this is good for him that Shaz is in here, so that maybe he can catch up to him. He doesn't have the DRS though. Just outside of that. In the meantime, Joseph Iles has taken the race lead from McCluskey. The other Ferrari was supposed to lead the sprint like this, but Pimerada did bottle that start, and now Joseph Iles is leading the Grand Prix. Pimerada still down in P6, but he has the DRS on Rocky, who has the DRS on Shaz, who has the DRS on Rob. So, well, still he has the DRS, but add on with his pace, he might actually drop that DRS. Rocky will need to overtake Shaz on this lap, on this very straight, because Shaz doesn't have the DRS. So it will be a very easy overtake for Rocky, but he will need to overtake Shaz ASAP with ERS, which he's not really doing. And as well, Pimerada is right behind him. Shaz drops 2 positions. Rocky will need to, well, catch up to Rob a little bit again. Since now he doesn't have the DRS, Shaz is just sort of, you could say, giving up positions in here. Marco goes up to P6, so that's a position that Marco needed if he wants to be equal with McCluskey on points going into the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Marco in P6, Shaz in P7. Tsunami and Tom are side by side going into turn 7, and Tsunami is in front of Tom still. Those mediums are a little bit faster, but those softs on Shaz's car have died. They have quite literally died. Wildcat spun through turn 7, interestingly. But yeah, the softs on Shaz's car have died, quite literally died. He has absolutely no pace. He was keeping up with the top 4, and now he can't even keep up with anyone, it seems. Ruggie is fighting Pimerada for that P4. Pimerada tries to go around the outside, but he can't. These two, or 3, I should say, they are losing time, but at the moment it's not looking like they would be catching to them at all. Pimerada goes for the move on the inside, and Pimerada goes in front of Ruggie. Wildcat goes into the pit, so maybe there was fronting damage that he has taken. No, he just retires in the pits immediately. In the meantime, Womack and Martin have done something. Any of them have front wing damage? It doesn't seem like any of them have front wing damage. It's just that they have done some of the shenanigans, it seems like. back to the race lead. McCluskey is leading from Joseph Files, and Rob in P3. Pimrada is slightly catching up to Rob, but Rob is going to get that DRS, and Pimrada has less ERS, of course, than Rob. Joseph Files, is he going to catch up to McCluskey to overtake him? No, he won't. Into turn 1. Doesn't want to go for the overtake yet. McCluskey still leading. Yellow flags are waving for Wildcats, and Joseph Files won't be able to overtake. He won't be able to overtake. He can't overtake him. McCluskey goes wide though. McCluskey got a bit confused from his teammates. He almost went into the back of him, but Joseph Files overtook McCluskey on clear yellow flags. I don't know if Joseph Files is gonna let him through, or is the game even telling him to let him through? Doesn't seem like it. Maybe McCluskey went off track and that said something. I don't know, but there were clear yellow flags, and Joseph Files just overtook McCluskey just like that, and the game doesn't give Joseph Files any sort of a penalty, it seems. A very weird one. In the other topic, Rocky has caught up to the 1 second of Rob, who is fighting with Joseph Files. Close there between them two. Shaz goes into the pits, gets a 10-second time penalty as well. That might be as a retirement for Shaz. Doesn't seem like it yet immediately. But yeah, Rocky is still within that DRS. Rob and Joseph Files were fighting very hard through turn 1, but Rob is still behind Joseph Files. Rocky, like I said, has the DRS on Rob, so the pack from P1 to P7 has gotten closer. Tom just outside of that 1 second zone. He might just get it though. Tsunami's right behind Marco. Tom, it's close. It's close. Tom, of course, wants that DRS. He will get it. He has gotten it. He's within 1 second. So Tom has the DRS. Is within this train at the moment. Marco is trying to overtake Pimrada, who is trying to overtake Rocky. And Pimrada around the outside of Rocky into turn 1. And goes a bit deep. And he doesn't overtake Rocky. So Pimrada drops down to P5, but maybe yet another chance into turn 5, but doesn't seem like it. No, it doesn't seem like it. Rocky defending nicely. Pimrada as well went wide in turn 1. A bit too wide, going a bit deep, and Rocky immediately taking his position from Pimrada. Joseph Files still behind McCluskey. Steps and Rob are gonna pit soon from those softs, like Shazas did, who is on the hards, but he has a 10-second time penalty for speeding, so it is what it is for Shaz at the moment. The medium rush aren't going to be pitting yet, I don't think, unless they're going for a massive undercut. Rob not in the pits yet. Joseph Files, I don't expect him to overtake. No, he won't. Ibrahim is pitting from the medium, so going sideways into the pit. Steps going into the pits as well. Hopefully it doesn't go sideways. No, he doesn't, and pits within the speed limit as well. Ibrahim going for the hards, and Steps as well is going to be going for the hards, unless going for a Megamind strategy of going to the wets. No, he's going for the hards as well. McCluskey still in front of Joseph Files. These lapped cars are going to be a bit annoying throughout the race. They're probably going to get lapped yet again in this race, maybe a third time if these drivers are going to go very, very quick to catch them, or these AIs are going to go very, very slow. Either way, they're gonna get lapped yet again, which is a bit of an annoyance, of course, for these drivers, but it is what it is. Rob won't have the DRS. Actually, he will get. He just might have gotten it. It depends if he pits now. No, he doesn't. He doesn't pit yet and doesn't have the DRS. Now Rocky is gonna try and have a go for the P3, and he does go for it. Rocky up to P3, doesn't have the DRS, goes a bit wide on the exit of turn 2. Has the DRS, I believe. Has the DRS, but that exit wasn't clean one. That was barely clean. And he's just within that 1 second at the moment, but he still has a whole sector 2 to go, and still part of sector 3 until that DRS detection zone after turn 12. So, and he's just about within that 1 second, so he will just need to pray for McCluskey and Joseph Felix to just not go too fast, or maybe he is actually gonna be staying within that with his pace. It seems like it. Yeah, it seems like that Rocky is keeping up in there. Rob might have to pit now because his pace is dropping. He's dropping like crazy with his pace. He needs to pit now. He needs to pit now so that he's still gonna stay competitive in this race. And he doesn't go. He's staying out. He's staying out on those softs that are completely short. He's now trying to defend from Tsunami. And going into turn 2, he just gets eaten by Tsunami as well. And Tom is as well going to be right behind his ass. And he might just get overtaken. No, he won't. He's going to... Rob is going to re-overtake Tsunami, which is suboptimal for Tsunami. He has to go for it on the inside. And Tsunami pushes Rob wide. Tsunami and Tom are going side by side now, going up the hills through turns 6 and 7. Rob is behind them too. Tsunami doesn't have the DRS at the moment. He is right behind them. Right outside of that 1 second. And he doesn't even have the ERS to do anything with. And the gap has risen to 1.1 seconds. So, yeah, Tsunami not looking like he's gonna get the DRS. He's 1.2 seconds behind Marco. So the DRS train in front has dropped down to only top 5. Pimarada goes early into the pits for the undercut. McCluskey and Rocky are close within each other. They're all close. Tom, Rob and Niklas all go into the pits. Then Alpine's going for a double stack. Interestingly. Lassie, is he gonna go for the overtake on Joseph Felix? Yes, he does. He sees that he's blinking, and so tries to go for it. And he does. He's in front. Joseph Felix had a better exit though of turn 4, and could have had a go into turn 5 and 6 and 7, but he almost went into the back of McCluskey. Rocky is probably gonna try and take advantage of it, but Joseph Felix had the inside going into turn 9. But yeah, like I said, Joseph Felix could have maybe gone for the advantage that he had on the exit of turn 4 and 5, but decided not to go and decided to almost go into the back of McCluskey. Now, are the top 2 gonna pit now? McCluskey goes in, Joseph Felix stays out. Bit of a last minute call there for Joseph Felix, it seemed like. But Joseph Felix does get overtaken by Rocky. Marco and Dragon go into the pits as well. And Womack might go as well. Now it's important where Pimarada is going to exit. Shaz is trying to overtake Pimarada. Shaz's all big undercut is working. But he has a 10-second penalty, which he will need to serve or take it on the race. And Shaz is right behind Lassie. Marco is behind Pimarada. Rob behind Marco. Tom right behind Rob as well. Pimarada is in front of Shaz, which is very important for Pimarada to keep up with Lassie on that DRS, and it seems like that he's gonna keep up with that DRS. And of course, what Joseph Felix is still going for it in here, trying to go for the overcuts, which 99.9999999 doesn't work. or let's say 95, because it sometimes works because the car that is undercutting decides to have a bit of a spin. Let's just say like that. Just lose the traction on the exit of turn 1, like that. Anyways, Tom has overtaken Ibrahim into turn 1, and Pimrada is as well catching McCloskey a bit, but of course he's still got a bit of, well, he can a bit relax. Behind him there's a car that has 7-lap-old hards. Rob is with mediums. He needs to still overtake Shaz. Marco as well behind Rob, 8-10s. So he can chill out a bit in terms of in the rear. In the front though, well, he has McCloskey, so he needs to fight him. Of course, depends on these laps. It's lap 19 out of 36. So it really just depends. His teammate Joseph Files is still staying out. He wants to pit the same lap with Rocky, it seems. And McCloskey just lets Pimrada through, it seems like. Pimrada is up into P4, net P1. But is McCloskey gonna re-overtake him into turn 4? The gap is too big. The gap is definitely too big, and McCloskey is still behind Pimrada. So Pimrada has taken that P4. Joseph Files is trying to go for that overcut, maybe to go for the softs, now that he's using Rocky as his... well, Rocky has better pace, probably. Well, that's if... I don't know. Joseph Files has 100% of the ERS. Rocky has only 40. Joseph Files might have a go for the softs, it seems like. Is he gonna pit? No, he's not. He's still not pitting. Nicholas gets a 3-second time penalty. Joseph Files is just hanging within Rocky's DRS, just like that. A bit weird. McCloskey, I mean, the strategy of just letting Pimrada through doesn't really work for him at the moment. Rob takes the new fastest lap of 109.304. But McCloskey's strategy of letting Pimrada through is not that much working, since, well, now he has a driver that is on the fresher, well, not really fresher, it's pretty much the same lap mediums, but you know, almost dropped the DRS on Pimrada. So Lassie isn't really working for himself at the moment, it seems. Well, more can be said for Joseph Files. In the meantime, Pimrada has gone wide. Pimrada drops it through turn 10. Went wide. McCloskey takes P4. Joseph Files goes into the pits finally. McCloskey is gonna get overtaken by Rob on the DRS. Joseph Files goes for the softs, interestingly. Shaz not going for it on McCloskey since he's too far back, but Pimrada has dropped it while being in the net race lead. And he's dropped it now down to P6 and net P4. Since, well, still Rocky and Tsunami still are yet to pit, but Pimrada dropping it through turn 10 was not what I was expecting, and now he has to overtake Shaz as quickly as possible. He knows, or hopefully I know that, or hopefully he knows that Shaz has 5 lap older hearts compared to himself, so he should be faster. But Shaz has a lot more ERS though, so it's working a little bit more to him. Lassie has almost 100% of ERS compared to Rob, who has only 30. Tsunami goes finally into the pits. Rob, is he gonna get overtaken by Lassie? Doesn't seem like it. Behind, no, doesn't even want to overtake Rob. He's lifted, even though he really didn't need to lift. And so yeah, Lassie's still behind Rob. And he's too far back to go for the overtake on Rob into turn 4. Yeah, he's too far back. Rob just no ERS even left. He even showed by flashing his rear light that he has low amounts of ERS. Of course, low amounts of ERS on this game can mean even that you're driving on non-mode, but as well can mean that you're low on energy. So if McCluskey is gonna realize that, hey, Rob is a bit slow on the straights, so you know, he might realize that he's actually that blinking is not about that he's trying to recharge his energy. That's because he's low on energy. In the meantime, Rocky went into the pits and speeds in the pit lane, gets a 10-second time penalty for that. McCluskey takes the lead of the Grand Prix into turn 1 from Rocky and Rob. Joseph Felix goes fastest 09.220. That's expected from him, who is on the brand new softs. Ibrahim gets a 3-second time penalty. Behind Pimrada, trying just right behind Shaz's arse, quite literally, and Pimrada just can't get that move on Shaz, on Shaz, so he has to stay 4th at the moment. Joseph Felix, his softs are gonna be very quick, but they're gonna as quickly just drop. They're gonna be quick, but as quickly they're gonna drop the pace. And I mean, 16 laps on the softs, that's gonna be puncture territory. That is puncture territory right there. So he might get a puncture on his laps. Rob just about has a DRS, but as well he needs to think about his fuel, because he's 0.08 right about there in that territory of ERS, the fuel. So he needs to look a bit on his fuel as well, so that he doesn't run out of it as you're gonna go into the finish line. Joseph Felix has overtaken Tom, and now he's overtaken Marco, which is doing well for Lossie, because now with Marco in P6, it means that the gap between McCluskey and Marco is the same amount of points, instead of being 2 points to Marco. Joseph Felix is going to have better pace at the moment, but in like 3 laps his pace is going to drop, so that he's not going to be catching to Pimrada as quickly. At the moment he's not even he's not even catching to Pimrada. He's barely getting away from Marco, and he might get overtaken by Marco into turn 1. Not into turn 1, on the main straight as well. He's even low on ERS, so Marco, is he gonna overtake Joseph Felix? In front, Pimrada has overtaken Shazad finally into turn 1. Is Shazad gonna try and counter it? No, he is not. Shazad is just trying to be within this gap, within this train of cars, and then use these cars as an advantage, so that he can just build up a bigger and bigger of a gap to the cars behind, so that they're going to be further and further away from his 10-second time penalty that he has, because he sped in the pit lane. Everyone has made a stop. Ibrahim gets another 3-second time penalty. That's 6 seconds already for him. Plenty of lapped cars right there. Those are the AIs that I was talking about. Rocky is as well going up through the field on the mediums, but he has as well a 10-second time penalty for the same reason that Shazaz has those 10 seconds for. Pimrada is a bit too far behind Rob. Rob, is he going to try and overtake McCluskey? He's catching, sending it? No, he's not. He's not sending it. Almost runs into the back of Lossie. He's dropped it on the exit of turn 1. Pimrada goes through and almost gets overtaken by Shaz's. Shaz doesn't want to go for it, but Pimrada has got the DRS on Lossie. But Pimrada and Lossie have the same amount of ERS, which is good news for Lossie, in a way that Pimrada just can't uses ERS as much to catch up to him, to stay within that DRS. But of course, Lassie would like to have the ERS so that then he could, of course, then get away from Pimarada, so that then he could have a silent race to the end of the race with the rest of the laps. But at the moment, it's not looking like it. Marco has caught up to Shazas because of that, because of all those, all the hold up that Rob a bit caused. Pimarada has the DRS, of course, easily. He's gonna just use that DRS to his advantage to catch up to McCluskey, because you're just gonna gain to like 4 tenths just with that. Rogge overtakes Marco. Marco doesn't even try and fight that. Marco drops down to P6 back again, but of course Rogge has a 10-second time penalty, so that's working for Marco. The same with Shaz, that has 10 seconds. But Rogge doesn't even can't really, I mean, he won't be catching up to the cars in front, hopefully. It's just, is he going to be able to catch up enough to them on the corners, so that then on the straights he's not going to lose too much time. At the moment he's catching rapidly to Shazas. He's catching absolutely rapidly. He's using those mediums to perfection. 2 seconds from 2.6, and Marco already doesn't have the DRS on Rogge, but Rogge has a 10-second time penalty, so he needs to remember that. He needs that DRS as well, but if he doesn't have the DRS, it's not the end of the world to him. So if he would be basically in the thing that I'm trying to say is basically behind being Rogge and Shaz. Joseph Feliz in the meantime overtakes Marco. Shaz gets a 3 seconds as well on top of that 10 seconds, so he would really need to extend that gap. Pimarada takes the lead of the Grand Prix on lap 28 out of 36 on turn 4. Of course, an advantage he has taken from Rob when he dropped it on the exit of turn 1. Managed to save it. Shaz now makes a mistake into turn number 8, and he's now behind Rogge. The advantage that Shaz was, well, Rogge's now hopes of catching up to the cars in front to the DRS have dropped now, since Shaz has dropped it, who had the DRS on the cars in front, but now he has to catch up to Rob, and so it's going to be a bit harder to catch up to the cars in front. Lassie overtakes Pimarada. Marco re-overtakes Joseph Feliz for that P6 position. Sorry. In the meantime, Dragon as well overtakes Niklas into turn 1 and 2. Rogge is of course going to be catching up to the cars in front. He has the better tires, but like I said, is he going to be able to catch up to the cars in front enough through the second and part of that third sector, so that then he can catch up to them? He can catch up eventually to the DRS. Let's look at Rob's fuel. He is up on his fuel. He is good with fuel as of right now. Rogge 1.4 seconds behind Rob. That gap is gonna go higher because Rob has the DRS. Now for Rogge, it's important to not lose too much time on the straight, so that then he can catch up on the corners. Pimarada retakes the lead of the Grand Prix into turn 1. Rogge 1.8 seconds. Let's look at the gap. He would drop to P10 as of right now, not including any penalties. It's just easy like that, and I'm not including penalties. Without any penalties to Tom and Ibrahim and Shaz, he would be finishing in P10. With the penalties, he would probably finish in P7 or P8. P7. Joseph Feliz in front of Marco. Roggy is catching up, like I'm saying. 1.2 seconds now. It's not gonna be enough to catch up to Rob. Robert as well has 100% of ERS. Lossy 50%. Pimrada as well 50%. Rob has the upper hand in terms of the ERS. Roggy still cannot get that DRS on the top 3, which would be crucial so that he's not gonna lose. He's gonna lose the least amount of positions with that 10-second time penalty. Marco overtakes Josephiles. Tom is just cruising behind these two. He's just cruising. Although those softs on Josephiles' car are dying. They are dying, as those 5 laps are gonna be the worst for Josephiles, who's trying to retake that P6 on Marco into turn number 4, and he has retaken it. He's up to P6 with that attack. Tom is looking a bit around, maybe just looking for his braking marker. But anyways, Tom's still in P8. Josephiles up to P6. Roggy has the DRS. He's caught up to within that 1 second. If he just wouldn't have gotten that 10-second penalty for speeding in the pits, he could have been in contention for the win from a position where he started. What was the position? Wrong thing. Position number 3. So it would have been a very good race for Roggy to win. But at the moment, it's not getting that at all, unless the cars in front are going to just absolutely bottle it. Tom has taken P6 from Marco, who has dropped to P7, and Josephiles has dropped 2 positions to Marco and Tom. Marco has kept his P7. Ignore what I said previously, that he lost a position. He's kept his P7, but Tom has overtaken 2 cars, Marco and Josephiles. Josephiles has dropped 2 positions. And now he has to watch out for Tsunami behind, because he's catching up on the better mediums. Technically 1 lap fresher mediums, but I mean, Soft's 11 laps, they are dead. They are probably close. They're probably like 50% now, somewhere around there. They are a little shot. Rocky has the DRS. And that will be probably the end of me reporting him. In front though, Pimrada and McCloskey, they are still exchanging positions. They're still exchanging that P1 and P2 ERS side. Both of them, McCloskey has more ERS. McCloskey 50%. Pimrada has only 10%. McCloskey sees his Pimrada flashing. Of course, can't really tell, of course, maybe. If he is flashing because he has no ERS, or is that just the end of the straight flashing where your car is just not using any ERS at that point. Either way, he knows that Pimrada was flashing in there. Maybe he could take a hint, but honestly, you can't 100% guarantee it unless you see it again, and as well, just maybe randomly flashing on the straight multiple times. Then maybe it's the hint. Anyways, McCloskey has almost 100% of ERS, the same with Rob. Pimrada has only about 40%. McCloskey, now at this point, he needs to watch out for Rob behind so that he doesn't get overtaken by Rob. He needs to catch up to Pimrada. He needs to watch out for Rob. That is the crucial part. Rob's tires are gonna be a bit slower compared to the hard tires. In the meantime, Marco is up to P5, overtaking Tom, who has overtaken Shaz. Shaz's tires are dying as well. Those 23 laps, they might be a bit too much for his tires and for his pace. Now he's in the mix of within this battling in here. The battling in here, of course, is helping out Roggy a lot, since he has a DRS in front and the cars behind are as well battling. So maybe with some sort of a chance, he could maybe take P4, maybe a bit higher. It doesn't help him though that Tsunami has caught up to this. So he seizes that the gap to cars behind, it's 6.8 seconds. Roggy gets a 3-second time penalty additionally. So that ruins his sort of chances, very low chances of getting P4 in here. Maybe with the cards behind will be fighting, but now that idea can be thrown out of the window as Lassie goes for the move on Pimarada. Rob spins into turn 1 yet again, but it might have been actually just contact with Pimarada. Rob drops down to P4 behind Roggy, which is not ideal for Rob to go for the move for the lead of the Grand Prix on the last lap, as we are on the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. Lassie is in front of Pimarada. Rob, his chances of taking a win are very, very slim. Now, he had very good chances before entering that turn 1. Now his chances are very slim because he will need to overtake Roggy and then overtake somehow Pimarada and Lassie on like the same lap, or maybe pray that McCluskey and Pimarada would just take each other out. And with Roggy having at least 3-second time penalty, at least, well, of course, those 10 seconds are pretty easy to not get removed, but still, Pimarada is getting a bit pressurized by Roggy. Pimarada, is he gonna go for it for the move? No, he isn't. Roggy either, he's not going for it. Roggy still behind Pimarada. Pimarada, is he maybe gonna go for it for turn 4? No, he isn't. He's maybe a bit too much on the defensive on Roggy. Lassie and Pimarada have the same amount of ERS. Roggy has better pace though. He has better pace. He has the better pace. He has the better tires. But he just cannot use it because Pimarada is blocking him. And as well, the penalties. Penalties are as well crucial for him. The gap to behind to Marco, to Rob, is 7.6. The gap from Roggy to Marco is about 8 seconds as Roggy goes for the move on Pimarada on turn 10 and into turn 11. This is horrible news for Pimarada, who is trying to go for it for the lead of the Grand Prix. This is beautiful for McCluskey because on the extra of turn 12, Roggy is in P2, but he has those 13 seconds of penalties that he probably won't be able to take away. McCluskey takes the win from in the main race here in Brazil and probably takes the championship lead from Marco. No, Marco is still going to be finishing in P5, or actually in P4. Pimarada takes P2, Rob P3, Marco P4, so he's still going to be in front of McCluskey. Tsunami P5, Joseph Vilas P6, Tom P7, Roggy P8, Dragon P9, Thomas, Niklas P10, Shaz P11, Ibrahim retires on the final lap of the Grand Prix, and Steps is gonna take P12 as he just overtakes Ibrahim there, and with the bots as well, they're gonna be finishing in front of Womax. They're gonna be finishing in front of Womax, unless no, they're not gonna even finish in there. But Steps is gonna finish in P12, waving to the finish line. McCluskey has done everything that he needed to do this race to shrink that championship lead from Marco from 26 points down to only 5 points to 5 points only. And so very lovely job from Lassie. 26 points down to 4 points. That is massive for Lassie. And so, yeah, Lassie has won the main race Grand Prix. Pimarada P2, Rob P3, Marco P4, Tsunami P5, Joseph Files P6, Tom P7, Roggy P8, Dragon P9, and Niklas rounds off the top 10. Then it's Shaz, Steps, Ibrahim, Womax, Jamero, Kevin, Nathan, Sen, Martin, DNF, and Wildcat DNF. You might as well do these as DNF. Honestly, it doesn't really matter since these 4 didn't even score points. Actually, yeah, 4. Yeah. Anyways, very good race, like expected from Brazil. Pimarada, in my opinion, takes the race driver of the day. With his P9 to P2 effort, almost taking the race win, but just falling a bit too short in terms of pace. his other countryman was a bit faster in the Williams, and McCluskey has taken the race win, and Rob running off the podium. Next race is gonna be Las Vegas, if I remember right. Just double check. BP. Yeah, next week is gonna be Las Vegas with a sprint as well. Let's see who's gonna commentate that. But yeah, next week is gonna be Las Vegas, the terrible racetrack that it is. Pretty much 8-0 wings there. You could have a go at them. Like, no joke. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, next week is gonna be Las Vegas. And see you there. I don't know if it's gonna be me there or if it's who is it gonna be there, but anyways, there's probably gonna be Reggie in there. But anyways, we'll see. For now, ciao.